Good morning. This is Father Stephen Kelly from St. John's Church in Detroit. We're continuing our series of daily morning meditations where we generally look at one or another of the lessons that are assigned for morning or evening prayer, what is known as the Daily Office Lectionary. And hurrah, today is Sunday. It's the 15th Sunday after Trinity, and we're gathering together to glorify God, to worship Him in the beauty of holiness, and to, of course, receive Him in the Blessed Sacrament. Unless you eat my flesh and drink my blood, you have no life in you, Jesus tells us. And we do that as we gather together as the body of Christ to worship and to glorify Him and to be encouraged in the fellowship of the faithful. Today we have a series of readings. The gospel lesson at the Holy Communion service is that you cannot worship God and mammon, that we're going to find ourselves having to be careful that possessions don't overtake us. The morning prayer service also has two readings that are related to that. So let's read the first lesson from Ecclesiasticus. We've been doing a lot of Ecclesiasticus yesterday, but we're jumping back on the Sunday side to the 5th chapter, beginning at the first verse. Set not thy heart upon thy goods, and say not, I have enough for my life. Follow not thine own mind and thy strength to walk in the ways of thy heart. And say not, who shall control me for my works? For the Lord will surely revenge thy pride. Say not, I have sinned, and what harm hath happened unto me? For the Lord is long-suffering, and he will in no wise let thee go. Concerning propitiation, be not without fear to add sin unto sin. And say not, his mercy is great, he'll be pacified for the multitude of my sins. For mercy and wrath come from him, and his indignation resteth upon sinners. Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day. For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance. Set not thine heart upon thy goods unjustly gotten, for they shall not profit thee in the day of calamity. Winnow not with every wind, and go not into every way, for so doth the sinner that hath a double tongue. Be steadfast in thy understanding, and let thy word be the same. Okay, so again, we start out at the beginning, at the end, where we're warned not to put our trust in goods. That's verse 1, and verse 8, set not thy heart upon goods unjustly gotten. The second lesson for morning prayer is when the man comes to Jesus and tells him to divide the inheritance, be a judge between us, and then he tells the story about the putting up the barns and gathering all the stuff. And God saying, thou fool, this night shall your soul be required of thee. And he says, so he that layeth up treasure for himself is not rich towards God. So again, there's a lot in the scriptures. I know we talk a lot about issues of sex and pride, but there's a lot in the scriptures about money and possessions, and how we need to be so terribly careful that we don't allow our possessions to possess us. St. Francis, of course, tried to fight that by giving up all possessions and lived in utter poverty. Jesus told the young rich man to sell all he had, give to the poor, and come and follow me. But that was the prescription for that man. Not all of us are called to that extreme sense of poverty, but we're all called to be aware of how mammon, how the use of money, and how possessions can become obsessive, can become a god in our own lives, and the driving force of how we do things, in how we are identified. Can you be rich and get into heaven? Well, it says it's hard for a camel to go through the eye of a needle, sure, but not impossible. With God, all things are possible. And the poor certainly seem to have a favored place, but even the poor can find themselves outside and lusting after possessions. We all need to be acutely aware that we cannot let our possessions possess us. By the way, the prescription for that? Generosity, right? Give things away. Give it away. Tithe to the church. Support the poor. Support ministries. Support those around you. Give. That's how we stop from obsessing and keep it from us being possessed by it. So today is Sunday, 7:30 morning prayer, 8 o'clock Holy Communion, 10 o'clock Holy Communion, 5:30 evening prayer. Pick a service or two, right? You can do 17:30 and 8 back to back, or come to 8 or 10 and then come back at 5:30. Or if you can only make one service, please make at least one service. Worship and glorify God. And may you have a Sunday that's full of blessings.